This is from BetJACK before we let you go. It's kind of interesting. So the favorites to be Jimmy Garoppolo's next team. And based on that potential year suspension, Browns are now the favorite, plus 250. Giants, plus 375. Texans, plus 400. And 49ers all the way up at plus 800 now. Thoughts? Do you think if, in fact, it is a year, I would not at all be surprised to see Andrew Berry go out and get Jimmy Garoppolo. They got plenty of cap space, as we talked about last segment.
Yeah, I think we talked about this a couple of shows ago, I think, Dave, or a couple of weeks ago, I should say. And I hate that we're here because at the beginning of the offseason, when there was rumors that they might move on from Baker and that Jimmy G was in play, I was kind of, I don't know about this. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if it's an immediate or massive upgrade, but we're talking about a team that is built to win now. They have all the pieces in place, and you don't really want to have almost a throwaway season or a season that gets just, burn it down because there's no chance the Browns are going to be able to do anything or be competitive. So the idea of Jimmy G, guy who's won before in big moments, taken multiple teams to an NFC Championship game, taking a team to the Super Bowl, I think, and he also has some familiarity with Kevin Stefanski's offense coming out of the Gary Kubiak system. So I think that there is certainly some potential there. There's also the obvious of the Browns, the only team that could theoretically trade for him and fit his salary cap on their roster this year. It's an interesting point there too, because I know that the Browns probably want to roll a lot of that money over to next year, especially with Deshaun's contract kicking in big time next year. But if he gets a year and his contract tolls, that almost opens you up to say, okay, well, now maybe it can think a little bit further down the line, and we actually have the room to maybe make this move and trade for him. So we'll see what happens. I do think, depending on how this plays out, depending on if the NFL actually does go to a year, which I think is the assumption, that we could see them in the mix for him here in the next week or so.
Yeah, and again, it would be a one-year marriage of convenience on both sides.